Hi, and welcome back to the Will for Wisdom, where we stop pointing fingers and start leveling up. I'm Danielle, and today we're talking about your patterned choices with one simple rule. If it's in your life, you have power over it. Let's talk accountability, real growth, and some tart truths. Okay, so I know a lot of you have said, all men are trash, or there are no good men out there anymore. Well, let me ask you the real questions. Why are you consistently attracted to men with toxic traits? And what is it in your energetic signature that is toxic itself? We often sabotage our own relationships, not because we're broken, but because we're unhealthy and unhealed. We're repeating patterns that started way before adulthood. So today, we're going to talk about why so many women repeatedly choose emotionally unavailable men, why attention feels like connection, and why love bombing feels like love. This isn't about shaming yourself, but reclaiming yourself. Let's wake up to the unconscious decisions that shape your relationships. Let's go. The cycle of choosing emotionally unavailable men. This is one of the biggest unspoken patterns. You're not drawn to him because he's a good man, you're drawn to him because he's familiar. If you're consistently dating men who are closed off, inconsistent, afraid of commitment, hot and cold, and emotionally unpredictable, it's not an accident. Emotionally unavailable men often mirror an earlier emotional environment. Maybe a distant parent, unpredictable love, or childhood experiences where you had to earn your affection. And as a side note, sometimes the masculine figure in your life was actually your mother. Here's what usually happens: you tell yourself things like, oh, he just needs time. He's been hurt before. He's different when we're alone. I can help him change. No, what's really happening here is this: you're trying to earn love from someone who doesn't have the capacity to give it. The self sabotage here is this: you choose men who cannot meet your emotional needs, then question your worth or blame all men. The relationship feels one sided. Breaking this pattern requires shifting what you find attractive from emotional scarcity to emotional maturity. It's not easy, but it's liberating. Confusing attention with intimacy. Let's talk about a pattern that shows up in thousands of women everywhere across all ages. Attention feels like connection, but it isn't. Attention is stimulating and it makes you feel seen, but it's also cheap. Here's what attention can look like: good morning texts, compliments, flirting, physical attraction, long late night conversations, frequent messages. These things feel great, but it requires very little emotional depth. But here's what intimacy would look like: showing up consistently, having uncomfortable conversations, being emotionally open, respecting your boundaries, taking accountability, expressing needs clearly, and building trust over time. Attention can be given by anyone, but intimacy requires both people to be emotionally invested. The sabotage here: when you confuse attention with intimacy, you stay in relationships defined by chemistry, excitement, and intensity, but it lacks structure, stability, and commitment. You begin to mistake someone's interest for someone's capacity. That's a bad recipe, like the one you probably tried once when you were 12 based on a TikTok reel. Love bomb chasing. This one is one of the most intoxicating patterns out there. Love bombing feels like a movie. It feels like destiny, like finally being chosen, and like this is probably the one. And this is how love bombing works. At the beginning, he gives intense affection, big future promises, constant communication, overwhelming attention, deep vulnerability, often very quickly, and fast emotional escalation. Your brain gets hooked, your dopamine spikes, and your nervous system bonds quickly. But here's the trap: love bombing is a beginning tactic, not a relationship strategy. Once he feels secure in the connection, the intensity naturally fades or he withdraws completely. Then you start wondering if you did something wrong, how you can get the beginning back, or maybe he's stressed out and maybe you need to show more affection. No. You're trying to rebuild a relationship based on orchestrated vibes and a pretty montage of your imagination. Why this becomes sabotage? You stay attached to the performance version of him that showed up in the first few weeks and not the real him. This keeps you stuck in cycles of anxiety, self doubt, and emotional instability. And the controversial truth here is that you subconsciously like this toxic medley of negative emotions. Real love grows slowly. Love bombing burns as fast as a wisp of hair caught in a flame. So, how can you break these patterns? Here's where the real transformation begins. 1. Slow down the start of any new connection. Intensity isn't intimacy, chemistry isn't compatibility, and excitement isn't commitment. 2. Prioritize emotional availability above charm. A man who can communicate, reflect, and commit will always give you more peace than a man who only offers chemistry. 3. Look at patterns, not moments. Anyone can be captivating in the beginning. They can sprinkle random emotional excitement from time to time, but look at who he is after the novelty fades. 4. Watch what he does and not what he says. Consistency is the only real indicator of intent. Finally, you need to build your own emotional awareness. Here are things you have to ask yourself. Why am I drawn to intensity? Why does inconsistency feel exciting? And why do emotionally unavailable men feel familiar? This is where the healing starts. When your self awareness increases and you take accountability for your own failed relationships, your standards will shift and so will your life. So that concludes our video for today. Thank you for watching. And if this called you out and called you higher, hit like and subscribe for more like this. Also, share this with anyone whom you think would benefit from it. Remember, accountability isn't punishment, it's power. Own your choices, shape your future, and stay wise.